Coming up next is DC News number 103, and it's an all before Watchmen update. And we're going to talk about all of the series that DC has planned, all of the creators, all the folks that are in it, all the miniseries, and we're going to talk about why Bo loves it so much and why he's looking forward to it with so much fervor. He didn't say anything. Liar! Right up after this. Here at Alternate Reality, we have always believed that kids are the future of this industry, and that's why I have the largest kids selection of any other store anywhere. Come on down to Alternate Reality and you'll find comics and trade paperbacks on Pixar characters like Toy Story and Cars, Muppets, Disney, Simpsons, DC and Marvel characters, of course, like Tiny Titans, Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man, and Marvel superheroes. I also have a large selection of girls comics and girls-related trade paperbacks, as well as illustrated classics and a whole lot more. Readers are leaders, so come on down to Alternate Reality with your little one and pick up some comics that both of you can enjoy.
When Comic Book Man and Bo talk comics, I get rhapsodic. That means sleepy, right?
Cool. We prefer stuff that goes crunch in the night. DC Comic Book News, episode 103, Honor Offer.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
Pointless DC Announcements.
Pointless DC Announcements, number 103, and it's coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, your all new comics are 15% off every day for everyone. Today, including all my DC comics, today we're going to talk about the biggest story on the internet at this moment in time, and that is DC's announcement of 7 miniseries. There's some one-shots in there too, aren't there?
One one-shot.
One one-shot. All chronicling the adventures of the Watchmen before the Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons series Watchmen. That's right, and they're called, of all things,
Before Watchmen.
Oh, Before Watchmen. That's thinking, son. That's thinking. What do we call it? Before Watchmen.
You can take the logo.
BW, like
right.
BC, AD,
take the
BC,
logo and you
BW.
can push it over and you can put the before there and you just look at it.
BW. There you go, BW. So anyway, DC announced this, and of course, it lit the internet on fire because everyone was screaming, "My God, how can you do this to the Watchmen? How could they do this to the Watchmen, Bo?"
Money!
Right there. That's how they can do it.
Money!
What are these 7 wonderful books, Bo?
You got a 4-issue Rorschach limited series by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo, a 6-issue Minutemen limited series from Darwin Cook, a comedian to be 6 issues from Azzarello and J.G. Jones, which means they've been working on this for a while because Jones is slow.
Jones is slow, yes.
Dr. Manhattan, 4 issues from J. Michael Straczynski and Adam Hughes, also a slow artist.
Yes.
Night Owl, 4 issues from JMS and Andy and Joe Kubert.
And Joe Kubert.
Right.
Joe Kubert.
Ozymandias, 6 issues from Len Wein and Jay Lee, who's no longer a Marvel exclusive. And the Silk Spectre, 4 issues limited series from Darwin Cook writing it and Amanda Connor drawing it.
Wow.
These books will ship on a weekly basis.
Weekly basis.
So one issue of one limited series will ship, and each issue will contain a 2-page Curse of the Crimson Courser backup, which will be written by Len Wein and drawn by John Higgins, who actually colored the original Watchmen series. Now, we will also, when all this is all said and done, see a Before Watchmen epilogue one-shot from various creators. Now, Alan Moore, of course, what does Alan Moore think about this?
Oh my God.
He doesn't talk about it, and he really could care less. His daughter says it seems kind of a cheap move to me. Dave Gibbons gave the move. He said, well, you know, they can do this, and it's nice that the DC people revere this so much, and it's nice because all the money generated, that's going to go to Dave Gibbons. Kevin
All
Smith,
of it?
Well, he's going to get a sizable portion of it because
I don't think
Alan Moore's financial aspect of this is gone because he doesn't want the money, and he gave all the rights to Dave Gibbons.
Mr. Shoot from the Hip, I don't think Dave Gibbons is getting all the money that's
Well,
made
he's going
from
to get
this.
he's going to get a serious amount of money out of it.
Well, he's going to get some money out of it, yeah, which is probably the reason why he's happy
We've
with
also-
doing it. But Alan Moore, on the other hand, isn't he supposed to get some money, and isn't that money supposed to go to a charity or
Alan
something?
Moore signed over all his rights to these things to the artist because he said
Okay.
he wants nothing whatsoever to do with DC.
Well, so there.
I'm sure
Kevin
Dave
Smith?
will,
Yeah.
I'm sure Dave will take him to dinner.
Probably.
Throw a couple dollars his
Uh,
way.
Let me buy you a steak over at that steak place down the street that
They're gonna
serves the big thick ones.
You
Remember
get a
those
potato.
action figures you never got?
Yeah.
They're coming now.
No, they're coming now. They're coming now.
And Kevin Smith was asked to participate in this 2 years ago when this all came together. He told them no. No.
But the guys they got on board are
You know,
That's some A plus.
this
Travesty
team,
that's some A
of a
plus
sham.
talent.
this
All right.
the teams they have on this, are all great teams. Okay, these are people all capable of doing great stuff.
These are people who really should have had common sense enough to say no.
What's wrong with this project? Why don't you like this project? Before we go any further, before you get into that, you said these books ship weekly. Does that mean that all the first issues are going to ship in 1 week, then all the second issues the second week, or you're going to get a book every week for like 30 weeks?
You're going to get a book every week until all these are done. I mean, you've got, let's say, 4, 10, 16, 20, 24, 34.
It's
so
like,
you got
well,
30, so
it's
basically you've got a 34-week limited series.
Okay.
35 if you count the epilogue. 35.
Okay.
It'll be happening this summer. DC hasn't announced it, but they're assuming this is going to be their big summer thing because they got to have something to compete against Avengers versus X-Men, and this is their big.
And this is it.
their
And
big
this is it. However big Avengers versus Watchmen is, the amount
X-Men.
of buzz this is, or Avengers versus X-Men. Duh, silly me. Avengers versus
You're so
X-Men
caught up.
is, this Watchmen thing has really lit up the internet, for good or for bad, but it's generated a lot more publicity than Avengers versus X-Men has. DC has done, and you're going to get to how much you love this project, but DC has really done a great job of stealing Marvel's thunder, at least in terms of big-name projects that are coming out this year,
Well,
with this announcement.
When they made this big announcement on a Wednesday, the following day, Marvel already made their big announcement, which basically made them go, "Oh, okay, we're doing stuff too."
What was their big announcement?
The big
not,
announcement.
not to bury the lead from Marvel.
Their big
News.
announcement is they're doing a limited thing called Spider-Man, which will have the Ultimate Spider-Man and the Amazing
Okay,
Spider-Man.
okay.
meeting.
Crossover, okay.
Right.
Okay, Crisis on Earth 1, Crisis on Earth 2.
Crisis on
Okay,
Earth
gotcha.
2.
Okay, so, what is wrong? What is wrong with this series? What is your problem with Before Watchmen?
It's a 12-issue limited series. It is already over with and done with. The story's done. You don't need to go before. It
This is
doesn't matter.
before. This is filling in
doesn't-
information
It
for...
doesn't matter.
This shows you what the world was like leading up to
doesn't
this.
matter. People who, the Watchmen trade is the #1 selling trade on Amazon. It sells about 1 million copies a year.
It's going to sell more now.
Okay, it's
If
going
this
to keep
isn't gonna-
selling.
this isn't gonna
This
change
limited
that.
series isn't going to come close to selling that. So it's going to look like an Also Ran even before it's shipped.
But what problem do you have?
It's creatively.
I'm going to let it come out first to see.
Paul,
if there's any
Paul,
value.
there's
still
a
might
lot of
be
problems I
value
have
in
with
it.
Paul Levitz. And there's a lot of issues with Paul Levitz and the way he ran DC.
Yeah,
but
Paul Levitz
Levitz
used
was
to
the
run
one
DC.
guy who was, every time they came to him and said, "We'd like to do something with Watchmen," he was the one guy at DC that said no. As soon as he was out the door, screw it. Let's do it. Make some money out of it.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but DC is in the business of maximizing as much money as it possibly can off of its intellectual properties now under the Dan DiDio regime.
And this came up, Dan DiDio came up with this idea.
You know, if after the New 52, nothing surprises me. This doesn't surprise me at all after the New 52. I mean, seriously, nothing DC could do from this point on would surprise me.
She's right.
And I don't mean that in a
right.
good way.
I'll bet you $1 he walks out of here with every Watchmen property.
I didn't say I wasn't going to buy them.
And that's all DC
I'll
cares
at least
about.
pick up the first issues, and if I go, okay, this is obnoxiously
That's
annoying.
That's all anybody's asking for.
Okay, look, Brian Azzarello, Darwin Cook,
Len
J.G.
Wein,
Jones, Joe Kubert, Jay Lee, Amanda Connor. How annoying and how miserable could these books be?
Honestly,
I mean, if nothing else, they're going to read good
Yeah,
and
look
look
good.
good.
We certainly hope so.
Well,
You don't think they're as reverential to the property as
Oh,
anybody
they've
else
all.
would be?
The moment this was announced, DC put out a press release right away with all these guys saying we respect the property.
Sure.
Because they knew people were like, why would you do something like this?
to make money.
Right.
It's an homage to a fight.
It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab.
Well, that too.
You know, New 52 is a cash grab. Just about everything DC's done over the last couple of years has been, you know, a cash grab. And, you know, and I'm not saying that in a bad way
When's
because
the last-
Marvel's been doing exactly the same thing for decades now.
When was the last-
DC's finally getting on the bandwagon.
When was the last time somebody handed you a check and you turned it down?
Exactly.
Oh, no,
Nobody's
thanks.
right. No, thank you for the check. Right.
DC,
No, thank you. Couldn't
you know,
use it.
for years it always seemed as if DC was in the comic book making business, but not the money making business. Now it looks like DC's in the money making business, exactly like Marvel has been. Okay, and not so much in the comic book making business. And you know, I'm not happy with that at all. As a retailer, I am. Okay, as a DC fan, I'm not. But you know what? At the end of the day, DC's going to do what DC's going to do.
DC made it a point also the day after the creators said they were nice, saying all retailers love the idea. Did they talk to you? Yeah,
Nobody talks to me.
Right. So.
Nobody talks to me.
Right.
People on Facebook on my page don't talk to me. They talk at me.
So they're making a concerted effort to make people go, it doesn't suck as much as you think it does.
Yeah.
Just take the shotgun blast to the head softly. It'll be over in a minute.
Shotgun blasted ahead. Well, and with that, we're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We've got no more time for any more DC news, but go to the store's website. Check out all the DC news this man sends me and I post up.
Yes. Sarah knows
Tell
all the
'em!
stuff is. Sarah, tell them all the stuff you need to know.
If you guys have any suggestions, feel free. Quite frankly, I'm stumped. www.myalternatereality.com.
So stop off at the store's website and check it all out. Until next time, it's Comic Book Man
This is not Rorschach.
saying, I take shotgun shots to the head, 6-7 days a week. Bye!
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.